If you are constantly reaching for the remote because you cannot hear what people are saying on your LED TV, and then turning it back down the moment an ad comes on, this video is going to solve that problem for you today. The issue is almost never that your TV is not loud enough at maximum volume. The real problem is that modern LED TVs make dialogue thin and hard to follow at normal listening levels. And the moment any background music or sound effect kicks in, voices get completely buried. The good news is that the right soundbar does not just make your TV louder, it makes speech jump out clearly at the volume you are already comfortable with, so you never have to hunt for the remote again. Before we get into the picks, drop a comment below telling me whether dialogue clarity or overall volume is the bigger problem for your current TV setup. I read every comment. And if content like this helps you, hit subscribe and leave a like. It genuinely helps this channel. Why LED TVs struggle with dialogue? Let us quickly understand why this problem exists in the first place, because it explains exactly what to look for in a soundbar fix. LED TVs, regardless of how expensive they are built inside extremely thin and light frames. That slim design leaves almost no room for the kinds of speakers that can properly separate a voice from background noise. What typically comes out of a built-in LED TV speaker is a flat, compressed sound where everything, dialogue, music, effects, comes out at roughly the same volume level with very little separation between them. Your brain has to work hard to pick out speech from everything else happening in the mix, which is why you feel the need to keep turning the volume up just to follow a conversation. The fix is not simply more volume. It is a soundbar with a dedicated center channel driver, the speaker specifically responsible for dialogue, combined with voice enhancement processing that lifts and clarifies speech above everything else in the audio mix. Once you have that, you can watch your shows at a comfortable volume and actually hear every word clearly without the sound effects and music drowning out the conversation. Samsung HWQ990F. Best overall premium pick. Starting at the top of the list, the Samsung HWQ990F is the best overall premium solution for LED TVs that need a complete audio transformation. It is a full flagship system, soundbar, wireless subwoofer, and wireless rear satellite speakers all included, and the difference it makes over built-in LED TV audio is immediately and dramatically obvious. What makes it relevant to this topic specifically is that Samsung includes a dedicated center channel driver in the soundbar body, which is the key component for keeping dialogue clean, forward, and easy to follow even during action-heavy scenes. Voice enhancement mode further lifts speech intelligibility, and night mode intelligently reduces the sudden loudness of explosions and effects so that quiet dialogue never gets overwhelmed. For an LED TV in a living room where you want clear, consistent speech at a moderate volume, the Q990F handles that requirement better than almost anything else on the market. Samsung Q930D, best for dialogue-heavy TV watching. The Samsung Q930D sits slightly below the Q990F in terms of overall system scale, but for the specific problem this video is about, dialogue clarity and consistent volume, it is arguably the more focused recommendation. It has voice enhancement and night mode built in, a discrete center channel for speech anchoring, and a wireless subwoofer that adds enough bass weight to make the overall sound feel full without ever letting low-end frequencies swallow the voices. If you watch a lot of dramas, news, talk shows, or any content where following the conversation is more important than cinematic impact, the Q930D is precisely engineered for that kind of daily use. It is not as large or as immersive as the Q990F, but for the task of fixing muffled and unclear LED TV dialogue, it delivers exactly where it counts most. Samsung HWQ800D Best mid-range value, for buyers who want strong dialogue performance without paying for a full satellite system, the Samsung HWQ800D is the smart mid-range choice. It delivers a well-balanced sound with clear mids and treble the frequency ranges where dialogue lives, and pairs that with a wireless subwoofer that adds genuine bass depth without letting the low end dominate or blur the speech frequencies. Think of it as the middle ground that covers all the bases. You are not getting rear speakers, but you are getting a soundbar that makes the center of the soundstage, the place where voices live, significantly clearer and more defined than any LED TV speaker can manage. For most standard living rooms with a single screen setup and everyday TV watching habits, the Q800D is the most practical balance of performance and price on this list. Sonos Beam Gen 2. Best compact option. If your LED TV is in a smaller room, a bedroom, a study, or any space where a large soundbar system would feel out of proportion, the Sonos Beam Gen 2 is the answer. It is a compact, single-unit soundbar with no subwoofer or rear speakers in the box, but it uses Dolby Atmos processing and Sonos' TruePlay room correction technology to adapt its output to the specific acoustic characteristics of your space. What that means in practice is that the Sonos Beam Gen 2 sounds more natural and better calibrated for your room than most soundbars at a similar size and price. Dialogue is clear and forward, and because TruePlay adjusts for your room's reflections and absorption, it avoids the harsh, boxy sound that some smaller bars produce. For LED TV users in compact spaces who want clean, clear audio without anything bulky under the screen, this is the most intelligent and refined compact option available. Bose Smart Soundbar 600. The Bose Smart Soundbar 600 is specifically designed for people who listen at lower and moderate volumes and still need to hear dialogue clearly, which is exactly the problem this video is addressing. Bose's AI dialogue mode actively analyzes the audio signal and lifts speech frequencies in real time, making voices more distinct and easier to follow without pushing the overall volume higher. It is slim, elegant, and disappears neatly under most LED TVs without dominating the room visually. For anyone who watches late at night, shares a living space, or simply finds that most soundbars feel too aggressive in a smaller room, the Bose Smart Soundbar 600 is the most refined and thoughtful solution on this list for that specific listening scenario. Hisense AX5140Q. Best budget choice. Not everyone needs or wants to spend premium money to solve this problem, and the Hisense AX5140Q proves that you do not have to. It is a budget-friendly system that still includes up-firing drivers for Atmos height processing and satellite speakers for surround coverage, a level of hardware that at this price point is genuinely impressive. Dialogue stays balanced and clear through the Hisense system, and the overall sound is full enough to make the step up from LED TV speakers feel dramatic even though the price tag is modest. If your primary goal is to fix weak and muffled LED TV audio without a significant financial commitment, the AX5140Q gives you more hardware and more audio improvement per dollar than almost anything else in this budget range. Zvox AccuVoice, best for pure dialogue clarity. And then there is Zvox, which is an entirely different category of recommendation. Zvox AccuVoice soundbars are not built for surround sound, Atmos, or cinematic impact. They are built for one thing and one thing only, making human voices on a television clearer and easier to hear than any other product on the market. Zvox uses a proprietary technology called AccuVoice that specifically isolates and amplifies speech frequencies while keeping background sound and music at a more natural level. It was originally developed with hearing-impaired listeners in mind, but it works brilliantly for anyone who struggles to follow dialogue at normal volume on their LED TV. If an elderly family member is having difficulty hearing their TV, or if you simply want the clearest possible voices without any of the complexity of a larger home theater system, Zvox AccuVoice is the most targeted and effective solution on this entire list. The right pick for your setup? Here is the quick summary. For a complete premium audio upgrade with outstanding dialogue and full surround sound, go with the Samsung HopeQ 990F. For focused dialogue clarity with smart features on a slightly smaller scale, the Samsung HopeQ 930D is the better targeted choice. For solid mid-range performance with clear speech and good bass, the Samsung HWQ 800D hits the practical sweet spot. For compact spaces where size matters as much as sound, the Sonos Beam Gen 2 is the most refined option. For small rooms and lower volume listening where AI dialogue processing matters most, the Bose Smart Soundbar 600 is designed precisely for you. For strong budget performance that still fixes the core problem, the Hisense AX5140Q delivers serious value. And for anyone whose absolute priority is hearing voices as clearly as possible, Zvok's AccuVoice is in a class by itself. So, that is every pick. The best soundbars for LED TVs that fix low volume and muffled dialogue instantly. Drop a comment below telling me which one you are going with and what room you are putting it in. Hit like if this helped you figure out the right upgrade, subscribe so you do not miss the next comparison, and I will see you in the next video.